Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we can only hope that no one is trying to sneak a quick nap while reading these filings. Today we are diving deep into Tilt Holdings Incorporated the 3rd of November 2025 report, and let me tell you, it is a wild ride. We have a company announcing a significant new loan agreement, and then, almost simultaneously, filing for creditor protection. Stick around because this is a story about financial maneuvering, restructuring, and potentially going private. So, what exactly happened on the 3rd of November 2025? Tilt Holdings Incorporated and some of its subsidiaries like Jimmy Jang LP and Baker Technologies Incorporated entered into a new agreement. This is called a secured note purchase agreement, and it's for up to $2 million in new loans. These loans, called 2025 bridge notes, are due by the 1st of June 2026. Think of them as a short-term lifeline or a bridge to somewhere else. The interest rate is set at 10% for some of these notes, while others don't carry interest but are noted as in kind. Now, this is where it gets a bit complicated but very important. These new loans are secured by all the assets of the subsidiary borrowers. However, there is a catch. This new security interest is actually subordinate to another security interest, which means if things go south, the holders of the older, higher priority loans get paid first. Plus, any big asset sales will first go towards paying off another debt owed to Small Shenzhen Technology Limited, and the company's entire ownership stake in all its subsidiaries has also been pledged as collateral for these 2025 notes. This agreement also comes with the usual strings attached, promises the company has to keep, things it can't do, and conditions that, if broken, can trigger defaults. And speaking of defaults, there are some interesting triggers here. Beyond the standard stuff, a default can occur if there is a change of control, if Tim Conda's employment with the company ends for any reason, or if the company fails to find a replacement for Mr. Conda that the lenders approve within 90 days. It also ties back to any default under a previous loan agreement from 2019 as amended. Here is a significant governance change. As part of this deal, Tilt Holdings agreed to keep its board of directors at 5 members. Crucially, 2 of those directors will be chosen by the new lenders, and the lenders will also have the right to send a non-voting observer to all board meetings. This means the lenders have a direct say in how the company is run. You might recognize some names here. Mark Scatterday, a former director and a significant shareholder, is a big player in this new loan, holding nearly $1 million of these notes. He, along with Robert Crompton, another major shareholder who holds $350,000 of these notes, and Adam Drazen, another former director, are all getting these new notes. This suggests a degree of alignment, or at least involvement, from key existing stakeholders in this new financing. But the really big news dropped just a few days later on the 7th of November. The company announced it has reached an agreement with the holders of its senior secured notes and has received court protection in British Columbia under something called the Company's Creditors Arrangement Act, or CCAA. Basically, this means they've entered a formal restructuring process, getting protection from their creditors while they try to sort things out. PricewaterhouseCoopers has been appointed as the monitor to help oversee this process. So, what is the plan? The company intends to go private. This means they plan to cancel all existing shares that people currently own and instead issue new shares to the note holders. This is a pretty drastic move, essentially wiping out existing shareholders in favor of the debt holders. Other creditors who don't hold these specific senior notes will apparently be unaffected, which is a good sign for them. The company hopes to get a meeting of the note holders to vote on this plan by the 17th of November. And guess who is involved in this restructuring as note holders? You guessed it, Mark Scatterday, Robert Crompton, and DeYong Wang, who is also a significant shareholder. This confirms that the major players are on board with this plan to take the company private. As a result of all this, Tilt Holdings has notified the stock exchanges and its shares are expected to stop trading. They also anticipate ceasing to be a public reporting company. This really signals the end of an era for Tilt as a publicly traded entity. Now, let's look at the actual documents filed. We have a whole list of agreements, including the secured note purchase agreement, various pledge and security agreements, and guarantees. These are the legal blueprints for the new loan and the collateral backing it up. We also see forms of the notes themselves, and importantly, Exhibit 99.1 is a press release from the 7th of November that talks about this restructuring process and the new notes. It is interesting that they filed this 8K on the 7th of November, even though the initial material event, the note purchase agreement, was signed on the 3rd of November. This is fairly common though, allowing a bit of time to gather all the necessary documents and information before making the official filing. So, what is my take on all of this? Tilt Holdings seems to be in a very tough spot. They've taken on new debt, essentially in a desperate move to stay afloat. only to then enter a restructuring process that will take them private and wipe out existing shareholders. The fact that major shareholders and former directors are involved in both the new debt and the restructuring plan suggests they are trying to salvage what they can, perhaps by controlling the path to going private. The risks here are immense. The company is saddled with debt, and the restructuring plan is ambitious. The immediate concern is whether this plan will get approved and if the company can successfully transition to a private entity without further issues. The opportunity lies in the potential for a clean slate, free from the pressures of public markets, allowing management to focus solely on executing their business strategy. However, the underlying operational health of the business is what truly matters, and this filing doesn't give us detailed financials to assess that directly. It is more about the corporate structure and its sudden dramatic shift. In conclusion, Tilt Holdings is undergoing a significant transformation. Moving from a public company to a private one through a complex debt restructuring, it's a cautionary tale about the challenges of financing and managing in the current economic climate. Alright, that is our deep dive into Tilt Holdings' latest filing. What do you think about this move to go private and the role of debt in this situation? Let me know in the comments below. If you found this breakdown helpful, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more corporate insights, and don't forget to join our Discord community, linked in the description. Thanks for watching and see you in the next decoded filing.